Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, February 17th, and we are in the freaking home stretch. We have no more Wednesdays. This is the last Thursday of Celebrity Big Brother. I should say the finale is Wednesday, so we have one more Wednesday, but this is the last Thursday of Celebrity Big Brother. And at this point, yeah, I don't care who wins. I'm more of I don't want some people to win more than I want people to win. I think I said last night that, look, I'm probably okay with Misha winning, I'm okay with Lamar winning, and I'm okay with Todd winning. I really don't want Cynthia, Todrick, right? Is that it? To win. And Carson doesn't matter. Carson's going to get evicted on Friday, so I don't think Carson's going to be in the running. So really, I don't want Cynthia or Todrick to win. And Cynthia mostly because she hasn't done anything, and she kind of bought into people's... I mean, she hasn't done anything, and that she hasn't really done, anything. I mean, Lamar technically hasn't done anything, but for some reason he's entertained me more than Cynthia has. So I'm like, Cynthia, yeah, I don't care. Don't care. Lamar, look, he's been entertaining in his own strange way. I wouldn't mind seeing him win just for the comedy of it. Todd is actually kind of trying, and I know he probably can. The money would benefit him the most of everybody, in my opinion, that I want to win or that I would like to win. And Misha, my big hang up with Misha is still, again, I already really expounded on this yesterday. She needs to owe up to that she's not been playing this amazingly immaculate game, that she's used people to her own ends, and so the whole, I'm playing an upright, upstanding, amazing game. It's like, yeah, you've played a little bit dirty when you've needed to. You've played dirty when you needed to, or you used other people's dirty play to your advantage. So that's all. I mean, I just want her. I don't want her. If she stands up in the final two, assuming that she gets there, and says, "I've played an honest, straightforward game." I can't remember the word that she always uses. Integrity. I've had integrity. Yeah. Whatever. Don't try to sell me that. Just admit that you've done what you needed to do to get to the final two, and here you are. That's all you got to say. You don't have to say, I've played with integrity. I mean, she has in some ways, but in other ways, she's totally watched other people that she's aligned with not play with integrity. And as long as she says, while I played with integrity, I did watch my allies play without integrity, and I was okay with that because it helped me get to the end. She could say that. And I'd be like, yep, you did that. You're right. And the answer would be then, so you're okay with other people doing bad things that would advance your cause, just you're not going to be the one to do it. And that goes under the classification of hypocrisy. But it is what it is. It's just a silly game. I'm just explaining my own personal take on this stuff. And I'm fine if Misha wins. I'm not going to be like, she didn't deserve to win. Look, she's a beast in competitions. She won the power veto yesterday. I don't know anything more than that because, frankly, I completely missed that she won it. It was so quiet after, have I said before I work? Oh, yeah, I do. I work, and this is a much different time for me. In a much more compact time, everything's happening every single day. And I just don't have the time in my real life work environment to pay that much attention to Big Brother right now. And so I'm missing a lot of the stuff that goes on during the day, but most times not a lot goes on. I mean, let's be honest. They usually don't get out of bed until noon Eastern time, and they don't really start doing things until later on. So most of the time, I'm not missing a whole lot during the day. It's usually, I mean, if I'm done, not always, but let's pretend I'm done at 5 o'clock. That's 2 o'clock Big Brother time, and that's barely mid-morning for the Big Brother contestants. They aren't doing a whole lot before then. However, in this celebrity world, they're doing stuff and they're active. And in this case, they did the power veto competition yesterday. And it was over before I got off work, and I was so wrapped up in work, I never even glanced at anything Big Brother related. And by the time I got to it, they were done, the feeds were back, and they weren't even talking about it because Misha won it, and it means nothing's going to change. So Carson was not scrambling. Lamar doesn't care. I mean, there's very little conversation going on about what's going to happen with the power veto because it just didn't matter. So I inadvertently said that, well, no, they didn't even play the power veto today. It's like people corrected me immediately. Yes, they did. I was like, oops. And then, Misha won. Okay, well, that's why nobody's talking about it. So Misha's not going to do anything. The power veto meeting should be today. At least it was last week. And so they'll just carry on and heading into Friday. And so that's that. There's not much to talk about today, other than complaining about things. And I don't want this to be a big complain fest where all I do is complain, because I do a lot of that anyways, right? The only other thing is I can call out Todrick. We'll do a little tiny Todrick call out here. In that, and because I just tweeted about it, it's my last tweet from last night, is that Toombs, who I usually don't quote, but Toombs had posted a video of Todrick complaining about the had a household competition where they had to taste the things. We saw it last night on the TV show. They had to taste the things and identify the flavors, identify the ingredients. And he was all about how people have different experiences, and it was kind of, basically he was saying it was unfair, okay? Even though he was saying, it's okay, I'm not complaining. Yeah, you are complaining. That not everybody's tasted all of these things, and that's not fair. And Misha was completely pointing out, I was like, look, every competition has a bias towards somebody. The wall competition was biased against tall people. She listed off several ones that were. This is why this one had an advantage. This one, he said, everybody's had food, but I just like, yeah, but not everyone knows what sardines taste like. And Misha's like, well, it kind of tastes like fish. I mean, I completely get it. I mean, look at the flavors are like rosemary. Now, I don't know. Going back, I don't know. I think they just showed pictures of the things, but I think maybe if they had jars that you could open and sniff and kind of get a sense of the flavor, that would have helped. That would have been a way to even the playing field. But I thought about that when they were doing it. I thought, I am still not 100%. I still not back to 100% on my sense of smell, taste since I had COVID back in 2020. I know for a fact I still don't quite taste all the stuff that I used to be able to. I can't quite discern certain things. And, so what would that, this thing wouldn't have been necessarily great for me. I might not have been able to distinguish certain things. I wouldn't have complained about it. Other than to say that, I would have been like, yeah, it sucks for me, but I'm not going to blame production for that. So, anyways, Todrick went off about that. And then he said the thing which annoyed me more, which was, I've watched every season of Big Brother, and they've never had a competition like that. And it's like, hang on, I got to drive through some standing water here. Let me just... We got a lot of rain here. Well, actually, it's mostly snow melting, but we're going to get another snowstorm, I guess, this weekend. But all the snow's melting, and a lot of water. All right, so we're fine now. Anyways, he said he's watched every season of Big Brother and they've never done a competition like this. And it was like, what? Yeah, they have. And I just I can't even remember. I know they have. I couldn't have said this is the one, this is the one, this is the one. But I started looking. I was like, okay, wait a minute. First of all, the first one that popped into my mind was the one where they had to smell the different smells and identify them. Now, that's not tasting, but it is smelling, and it's virtually the same. And it was just one individual smell, but it was like, okay, that's one. That was Big Brother 20, I think, right? 20 or 21, whichever one it was. And then it was like, all right, let me just start digging. And so I started digging. It's like, oh yeah, way back in Big Brother 4, they had to eat these casseroles that had different things in them, and they had to identify the ingredients. Now, it's not drinking, and it was a it was a food competition where two teams were competing against each other. But it's still a competition. And then, so that was 2. And then there was a competition in Big Brother 13 where they basically had to blend their cocktails. it was a have not where the two teams competed, and they had to make up 3 ingredients, throw them into a blender with milk, and identify them, and whoever got the most right, won the competition. That's basically this competition. And it was a gross thing where you had to smell things or taste things. And then people talked about there was a pie thing. There was another. I mean, there's been multiple, almost every year, not quite, but a lot of years, there has been a kind of a gross competition when you had to smell or taste things. Now, I would eliminate to the ones where you had to identify the ingredients. That's the caveat that I would say that would be the. But still, I can come up with at least 3 or 4 more. So for Todrick to say I'm a super fan, and I know they've never done this before, it's like, yeah, no. You're saying it maybe to Misha, but you're wrong. And yeah, that's my call out of Todrick for the day. And that's it, guys. God damn it, I'm sorry. I want to be all excited, and I'm still watching the show, but and a lot of people lost interest. It's just, yeah. It was this season. This celebrity season was not nearly as exciting as I'd hoped it would be. They've kept around people that really don't know how to play the game, and the hard players, the heavy. I mean, Teddy would have been. I think Teddy would have been good staying in the house. I think Mariah could have been interesting. I think definitely Chris Kirkpatrick was trying to play and knew the game and was trying to play hard, and definitely Shayna. So all of the people that knew how to play the game and were playing it hard all left, and the people that are left are just there. I mean, Carson is just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out of here. I got to go. And Cynthia knows. She said, I didn't know what I was doing. That's how you get far in Big Brother. Is just not to know how to do anything. Lamar obviously doesn't, and Todd is kind of playing, but his game is not that. It's like, okay, but you're not really, and you aren't good at competitions. So, yeah, I mean, Misha and Todrick are the two that are really playing hard, and I'm only really appreciating Misha's game. I don't like Todrick's game because he's driving me crazy. So, yeah, all in all, this will probably go down as the, quote, worst big celebrity Big Brother. I would think that's how people will label it, and I would have a hard time arguing with it, even though the other two have had their own issues. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for today. Again, I hope you have a good day. Hopefully we'll have more to talk about tomorrow, but frankly, I don't think we will. But we're trying, right? 1 week to go. 1 week from now, and I will be talking about the finale and probably how Misha won it all. Yeah. Oh, and then, by the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter, Shanna finally did interviews, and I know Entertainment Weekly and Us Magazine both have interviews with Shayna. I watched the video of the interview with Shayna with Sharon from Us Weekly, and I found it pretty interesting. I liked it. I really appreciate Shayna's knowledge. She did seem to know what was going on and knew the game, and I kind of feel bad for her because she got screwed over. But she's got a very positive attitude on it, and she didn't, other than, throwing shade at Todrick, she really was pretty good about all of it. I mean, it wasn't like she was, and she loved it. She said, she was very appreciative of doing the game. So you might check it out if you have a moment. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you all tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.